Great. So we as health and safety professionals, we are going through a lot from our various areas. So my motto is always there is a bright light at the end of the tunnel. No one knows what you're going through, but definitely you're going to succeed. So my name is Agri Frank Thibault. I'm a chartered member of IOSH, an IOSH council member. I work in Monjasa as an HSEQ specialist, health, safety, environment, and quality. I overlook the Northwest Europe, the whole of Asia, Mediterranean, Middle East, and Africa. I'm also currently a global advocate for health, safety, environment, and quality. So you can see my webpage, which is www.talksafetywithfrank.com. And on social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you can also find me there. Now you ask me, where do I have the time to make all of these videos? Why do I do that? So by the end of this presentation, you are actually going to find out why I do all of this. So I want to thank Mr. Abanu because when I launched the Talk Safety with Frank program, he reached out to me saying that he wants us to empower youths in Nigeria to create awareness and to encourage them on what they are doing as health and safety professionals. Then I said, okay, what can I really do about this? Let's bring it on. And we have been working back and forth to see how we can make this happen. And this is actually happening. So please, if you are not following him, that's his LinkedIn page. You can go there and follow him. He's a very inspirational health and safety professional. Now, I decided to share these photos with you because many of you know me on LinkedIn as a senior health and safety professional who travels a lot, but no one knows the story. So the first picture on the left, as you can see, that's one of my early pictures in 2017 in the United Arab Emirates, Dubai. That's about 9 years ago. I was actually thinking, is this job for me? Because I was working in summer and it was very hot. Irrespective of the summer midday, I still had to do inspections and supervisions. For those of you in the United Arab Emirates, you know what it looks like. So I was still very young and I was like, can I really pull through? And also with the challenges from the operations team, but I didn't give up. The photo in the middle is just a reflection of myself. Whenever I look at it, I feel like, okay, there was a reason why I started in the United Arab Emirates, and there's a reason why I should still keep moving. If you look at the photo at the end, I was already transforming from my actual color into something else. Why? Because of summer and the heat in Dubai. But what happened to me? Did I give up? The big answer was no. You can see my team. This was part of one of my project sites. It was a piling company, and we kept moving. I learned a lot from them, and you can see their colors as well. It was not only my color, but they were also affected. And trust me, all of these guys you see are white-skinned guys. But because of summer, because of the challenges we face, we had to do the job in the desert, at residential areas from morning to night. And if any one of you here know about piling, once you start excavating and you have concreting, you cannot stop. So it wasn't only about me. Whenever I felt like, Frank, you can always go to a shaded area and rest, I don't think about myself. I think about each and every one in this photo. And I ask myself, what if I go there and rest? What about them? They are humans like me. So I have to also stay with them. We work together, we eat together, and we kept growing. These were the early days, but do I regret? No. Do I appreciate them? Yes. Did I learn from them? Yes. And would I ever regret, or if in future I have the opportunity or life throws me back at where I started, would I give up? Hell no. So this photo is just to encourage you, telling you that you might see me up today. I'm quite polished as compared to my past, but it doesn't mean that my past was as good as it is right now. As you keep working hard, you stay focused and consistent, everything becomes better. Now, that's the photo, the first photo you see on the left. That's me and my very good friend. We were in the mall when I got my first safety job in Dubai. And that's the photo after 6 months in the desert. So when I sent him this photo, he was like, "Man, are you sure you'll continue with this job?" I was like, "Yes, of course." We started the journey and we cannot stop anytime soon. If you see the photo in the middle, that's just a normal toolbox talk I'm having with welders. You have fire wardens there as well. So I'm trying to tell them and what we always tell them on daily basis, right? And the last photo on the right, I had an inspection and we had a senior representative from ACOM. He was visiting one of my project sites. I was working as the manager. I tried to polish up this photo, but trust me, the sun didn't do me justice. I was almost invisible. I was so black in such a way that if you don't know me, you couldn't recognize me. But these are some of the challenges that we go through. And am I ashamed of these photos? No, I am not, because this is where I started my journey in the United Arab Emirates. So I'm bringing this to you here. So whatever you see on LinkedIn or whosoever you feel that is a senior health and safety professional, there is always a skeleton that each and every person has. And there is always a difficult journey that if you're being given this journey, maybe you will not succeed. So you need to trust your journey. Now, I decided to bring this to you and I tell you, look at me now. Why am I saying so? I've traveled to a lot of countries within the past 3 years because of patience, growth, hard work, collaborations, ambition. So you can see how it looks like, but I'm still based in Dubai and I'm a Cameroonian by nationality. And why do I want to make you understand this? If we go back to the previous photo and you look at this same boy and you see the man he has become now, you see that it's just a matter of years. But did I give up? No. So I want to use this to encourage each and every one of you fighting your personal battles that it's not impossible. You can do it. You can achieve what you want, but it's all about patience, endurance. And all of those pictures that you have now, trust me, you need to keep them. Because once you keep these pictures, tomorrow when you're in a better place, you look at your past, it will motivate you to keep going. Now I speak at international conferences. The first photo you see on the left, that was in the UK. I attended the West African Conference in 2023 where I physically met Abanu, and I was so inspired with the way he does things and other younger health and safety professionals. I've been invited as well to Germany, the HSC 360 conference in Berlin, in which I'm confirming my attendance by the 23rd of October. So the same small boy you saw struggling a couple of years is the same person traveling. Why? Is there anything special about me? No. What's the difference between me and you listening to me? Hard work, strategic plan, patience, and having a focus. Now, these are some questions that I always ask myself. Did I achieve my dream? I say yes. Now, my dream is not that I have all the money I want, I have the life I want. No. But am I in the field of health and safety? Yes. That's what I mean by my dream. Am I at the finishing point? Hell no. I'm just starting. Do I also make mistakes? Of course, I do make mistakes. Am I open to feedback? Yes, I'm open to feedback. And why am I open to feedback? Because I want to grow. I want to become better at what I'm doing, and I want to reach the summit. Do I have a strategic plan? Of course, I do have a strategic plan in place. Now, this is if you look at this picture, it depicts two health and safety professionals. And why do I say two health and safety professionals? You have a health and safety professional on the left who can come to you on LinkedIn and say, Sir, I don't have a job. Please help me. And you have another health and safety professional on the right. Who is this health and safety professional? Someone that identify his gaps, someone that try to study the job market and put in place all the efforts, stays consistent in getting to the top. Now, PT won't help you because a lot of people will look at you and they'll be like, you know what, if anything comes, I'll give you. But when you stay active, when you stay committed, like keep engaging in health and safety platforms, you're networking with senior health and safety professionals, you're sharing whatever you feel is right on maybe professional platforms. A lot of senior health and safety professionals will look up to you and they'll be like, oh my God, this guy is really powerful. I know that he might not have it all, but let me give him a try. I do believe that if I give this guy an opportunity, he might become better in the future. So instead of them giving you a job out of pity, they will help you to give you a job because they feel that they can develop you to be very competent. So whatever you're doing, irrespective of your situation, never be pitiful. Don't allow people to feel that you cannot make it. But try as much as possible to keep building you and you put in that effort to become better at what you do. Now, these are some of the questions I have for you. A lot of us here as health and safety professionals, we have our plans in place and we keep asking ourselves, how can we achieve this goal? But now, my question to you is, what are your short-term goals and what are your long-term goals? Are you having a SMART plan in place? And when we talk about SMART, is it specific, measurable, achievable, realistic within a time bound? These are the things that you have to put in place. How do you measure your progress? For example, Frank is looking for a job. Frank has not had a call in the past 1 month. But now, if Frank comes to me and says, Mr. Frank, I've been looking for a job, but I have not received a single call in the past 1 month. What will be my question to you? How have you been applying? What are some of the gaps you think that you haven't put in place or you have identified? How is your CV? When do you apply? How do you apply? How do you target the job market? Are you aggressive or you're calm? Do you network with senior safety professionals or you just believe that you can get a job by application? There are several ways in which you can get a job. Several ways in which I will help you, yeah, and you understand what I'm talking about. How often do you evaluate yourself, even as health and safety professionals, as we work on daily basis? What are some of your key strengths? What are your weaknesses? Now, when you identify your weaknesses, what actions do you put in place? If there are weaknesses that you need courses, do you actually pay for these courses? Or do you wait for your company to give these courses to you? My question here and my solution to you is every health and safety professional has the key to make them shine. And if you identify your gaps, if you work hard and you stay consistent, then definitely you will achieve your goal. Now, I'm going to give you a case study. Frank has a lot of work, and at the same time, he's coming up with a safety program. Now, what does this program entails? Frank has to make videos, and each video has a script. I need to record videos, I need to edit videos, I need to post videos on social media platforms. I need to engage with my audience, and I have to keep building this platform. But I ask myself, do I have it figured out? No. Do I put in the work? Yes. Do I expect to see results now? No. Why? Because good things take time. And that's why I try to tell each and every one of you here with me, Whatever you're doing, don't expect to see results immediately. Expect to see results in the future. Because if you feel that whatever you're doing would generate results immediately, then trust me, you might feel discouraged. So keep going, believe in yourself, and trust your journey. I'm going to use the IOSH competency framework to discuss this with you. For those of us who are fortunate to be IOSH members, I think many of us have seen this. But some of us that have not seen this, I'm going to make you understand what this competency framework is all about. If you look at this circle, you'll see the technical part, the core part, and the behavioral part. So as health and safety professionals, we should not focus on getting the technical part only. A lot of us as health and safety professionals will just go into getting the NEBOSH diploma, you get a master's, and what do you focus on? You're focusing on the technical part of health and safety. But now, as you grow higher in your career for senior leadership roles, the core part of it and the behavioral part is very important. When it comes to strategy, what strategy are you putting in place, maybe to get this job? When it comes to planning, how good are you in terms of planning? If you're not able to plan, do you have a mentor that helps you? And now, how good are you when it comes to leadership and management? Some of us will say, oh, I'm a safety officer, I'm not a leader. That's totally wrong. You are a leader because you work with stakeholders. And for you to identify your stakeholders, the workers in your site are your stakeholders. They are looking up to you. You organize toolbox talk with them. What do you tell them? How do you guide them? If you don't earn their trust, whatever you say is a wastage of time. So you should be able to lead by example. You don't tell a worker don't smoke on site and the next minute you're smoking. It means that you don't even know what you're saying. So when it comes to core, please, we should be strategic. We should plan well. We should lead by example. Now, behavioral. How good are you when working with others? Do you feel that your opinion is always right? Do you feel that the feedbacks that are issued by others make sense? And sometimes, we as humans, we are egoistic. We might say something, and a colleague of us might say, no, I don't think you're right. And you become angry, and you're like, no, I've done a lot, and I believe that I'm always right. No, we are not always right. Sometimes it's good to listen to others. Maybe a solution that would have taken you 15 minutes to resolve, with the inputs from your colleagues, it's going to take you approximately 5 to 10 minutes, which means you've streamlined the process and you're achieving results within a short period of time. When it comes to communication, how do we communicate? We have the verbal communication, we have oral communication, and sometimes our body language says it all. Maybe a colleague comes in the morning and he greets you, Mr. Chris, good morning. And the way you look at the colleague, the way you behave, gives that colleague a cold feet towards you. So sometimes it's not all about what we say, but it's all about the various forms of communication. We have to be very careful. Sometimes as well, our personal performance. How do you evaluate yourself? Have you ever thought of asking your colleague, can you actually give me feedback about my attitude? Do you feel that you're comfortable in my space? If you have a problem out of work, can you actually share this problem with me? Do you feel that you have a better connection with me as a colleague and also as a brother? Have I been able to earn your trust? Do you feel like if you have a problem, you can always run up to me and let's talk about it? Or better still, just evaluate my performance and tell me what you think about how I do my job. Believe me, some people will tell you things that you might not believe. Sometimes you go home and you'll not be able to sleep at night. But trust me, focus on the negative comments that are given to you and draw a plan. The worst is if you ask 5 or 6 people and you identify a trend, like, no, Frank, you're not polite. I believe that when I ask for details from you, I don't get it on time. So all of those comments that you have, please don't neglect them. It's very important. Write them down, come up with a strategic plan, and work on yourself. Personal performance is very important. Stakeholder management. How do you manage your stakeholders? A lot of us are not even able to identify our stakeholders where we work, and this is very dangerous for our roles. You should know who your stakeholders are. Who are the people you communicate with most on daily basis? And how do you think they receive the information you share with them? How do you try to create a balance? Sometimes, you have difficult people and you have easygoing people. So when you have difficult colleagues or difficult stakeholders, how do you strike that balance? You feel that, okay, I've done everything within my power to make sure that this colleague understands me, but this is just a difficult person. So in that case, ask yourself, what should you do? That's when you meet a roadblocker, we have managers. You have to take it to your manager. And once you escalate to your manager, you tell your manager, these are the challenges I have. This is what I've done. One, two, three, four, five. These are the results I've been getting at this point in time. I don't know what to do. Please help me out. And in that case, your manager is going to pick it up and solve it more better than you. But now, if you have any issues and you just keep escalating to your manager, it means that you're not able to manage your stakeholders. You have to try, and if it's getting out of hand, you take it to senior authorities as well. So, whatever we do as health and safety professionals, the core behavioral, it's very important. Everyone can have the technical knowledge. Everyone can go to school, pass, do the NEBOSH, ace the exam, do your diploma, ace the exam. But now, when it comes to behavioral, do you have the perfect attitude to fit the role? Are you able to plan? Are you able to strategize? Do you lead by example? These are things that we as health and safety professionals, we tend to neglect and are very important to us. I think by now, each and everyone should have understood what this competency framework is all about. And if you haven't used it before, I will encourage you to use it, evaluate yourself, know where you stand, and come up with an action plan to become better. If you face any challenges and you need my help, please reach out to me and I will support you further. So, I also happen to have worked with Amazon, and this is one of the very best things I've ever learned in my life, and it's part of my DNA. I'll always encourage each and everyone to maybe visit YouTube and learn about the Amazon leadership principles. It's very, very good. It's amazing. I'll have a quick rush over each and every leadership principle for you to understand how we do implement it and how it can help you in your various organization or even you as a person. The first one is customer obsession. How obsessed are you about your job? If I'm your manager, will I be able to know that maybe Abanum actually love his job? Sometimes we have strict working hours, for example, maybe 8 a.m. in the morning to 3 p.m. And your colleague has not come for the next shift. And as health and safety professionals, there are critical activities on the side that your leader might need your presence or might need your support. But in this case, maybe your manager calls you in to help and you don't really have a good reason. You turn and tell him, oh, I'm sorry, I have a football match I put in place to watch and I cannot really go. Maybe he's a simple guy, he's your friend and you guys joke around. But what message are you passing to him? Yes, it's true, you have been paid for 8 hours, but sometimes it's business critical in which your presence is highly needed. So you must be obsessed about your job. You should love what you do. Even if you don't love it, that's what gives you money, right? That's what gives your family something to sustain their life. So once you're doing that job, until you get something that you really love, you should learn to love what you're doing. So no money, no honey. So when you have money, you have honey. Ownership. How do you support your team? Sometimes you have a colleague that is struggling and you actually understand that, okay, I'm better at this thing than my colleague. And you have a request for maybe the operations team is business critical. They need the support from your department, but your colleague is not available and you see that your colleague is struggling. What do you do? Do you take that ownership to get that task done? Or will you say to yourself, this is not my job. I'm not going to do it. Let him do it. So sometimes we might take that ownership to get the job done. But how do we take that ownership is one thing. And how do we manage our stakeholders or deal with others is another thing. You can have a colleague that is kind of aggressive. You can have a colleague that does not want to work with you. But as a department, we have to learn to build that trust. We have to learn to work together so that if A is not able to do it, or if A needs 10 minutes to do it, and B can get it done within 5 minutes, why not give it to B? Or why not jump on it and get it done? The third point is invent and simplify. Take, for example, Frank now is in the marine industry, and maybe Frank has a job in the manufacturing industry, and you are his workmate. Now I'm in the department, and there is a task coming up that was assigned to me, and Frank does not know how to approach it. You know how to approach this better, but you are not trying to simplify the process for Frank to understand. You want to keep it in such a way that if you're not at work, things don't get done. And you feel that, oh, the department cannot do without me. If I'm not there, the work cannot be done. Is this the right approach? That's a very wrong approach. You should be a person in such a way that your leader, your management, or the business know that you are an asset. You've discovered a problem, you have a solution, you invent a solution, and you simplify it in such a way that with or without you at work, your colleagues can get things done. So that's when your leadership principle stands out. We go to leaders are right. Leaders are right a lot. It doesn't mean that our leaders are wrong. Sometimes they might go wrong, yes, but out of 100%, most of the leaders that we have, like our managers and seniors, they are better than us. Why are they better? Due to experience. You think, oh, I got certifications more than him. Certifications make you qualified. Certifications don't make you competent. Experience helps you to become very competent at what you do. So you might see a leader, maybe he has only NEBOSH, but he has been there for about 30 years. And you're like, no, I have NEBOSH, I have diploma, I'm better than that guy. Why is he there and why am I here? No. His exposure, years of experience, the way he manages situations are much more better than how you can manage it if you're given that position. So most of the times we should feel that our leaders are right. And whenever we are not sure or certain about what we have to do, please take it up to your leaders because their judgment is much more better than the way you can judge things. Learn and be curious. Whenever you find yourself as health and safety professionals, when you meet the bar is when you're able to do the job or meet the rules and responsibilities. But when you exceed the high bar, it's when you're doing your roles and responsibilities and you go above and beyond. You're learning about operations. Okay, Frank is a safety guy, but Frank wants to know about a lot about operations. Frank always spends time to sit with the operations team to ask them, okay, what are some of the challenges you face? What is this process? What is A? What is B? What is C? How do you integrate these processes together? How do you work with this department? When you know what the operation team goes through, it makes you a better leader. Why do I say a better leader? Because you understand the business and you'll be able to implement a strategic plan, collaborate with them to get excellent results. Collaboration is very important. So most of the times, don't focus on your rules and responsibilities. Try to get to other departments, work with them, engage with them, get to know what they do, And you'll see that most of the solutions that you're bringing or actions that you're proposing will be different than when you don't know what they're doing at all and you're looking at it from the safety side. As health and safety professionals, we must be practical in what we do. Hire and develop the best. Now, this is one of a key leadership principle because whoever you hires shows how competent you are. And trust me, hiring is not all about qualifications. Hiring is about getting the person with the right attitude. And when we talk about a right attitude, you're open to feedback, you're open to listen to others, and you believe that your opinion is not always right. You're patient and you're able to deliver results. You must not have it all in you, but you are someone that is willing to learn and grow. Insist on the highest standards. Do your job to the best of your ability. Whatever is given to you, try to make sure that you are doing it and you're doing it well. Don't do the job because you want your manager or your leaders to see that, oh, I'm getting this job done. But if you know that this is how the job is being done, take your time, make sure it's being done. There are times in which we have friends with the operations team. Sometimes it tends to be dangerous because they'll be like, okay, Frank is my friend, so let me just bypass this safety rule. We go out together, we eat together. Maybe he has some financial difficulties. I do support him. So if I work without a permit, Frank is going to allow it because at the end, he is my friend. But trust me, you don't put your personal life with your job life. Whatever has to be done, make sure that it's being done and it's being done rightly. You can discuss with your friend and you're like, no, we are friends, yes, but this activity is critical. Without a permit to work, I cannot allow this to be done. So please, you need to follow the process. I will help you ensure that everything has to be in place, but we have to maintain the highest standards. Bias for action. What is bias for action? Something is going wrong. You think about a solution, you implement that solution, and you get things right. Sometimes we might fail, but at least you tried. Speed matters, especially in critical activities. A colleague comes, your company rented a crane, maybe for 10,000 dirhams or maybe for $10,000 in a day. And you notice that the crane operator is not feeling well. Your company tells you, no, this operator should work. And the guy has come to you in all honesty and he tells you, I cannot do this job. This activity has to start in 3 hours, but I'm feeling dizzy. I'm not sure I can get this job done. So you as a health and safety officer or maybe health and safety manager, what will you do about it? Now that's when bias for action leadership principle comes in place. He will tell you that please don't inform them that I told you about this. But you, what do you do about it? That's where you can meet up with your operations manager, inform him this colleague is not feeling better. I'm not going to stop the work, but if we can get another crane operator before this time, we can get the job done. If this is really critical and we need to get it done, okay, I will stay with you instead of going home at 3 p.m. I'll wait for an hour or two. You try to outsource another operator and let's get it done. But trust me, if this guy is not feeling fine, we cannot take that risk. So that's what we talk about bias for action. You can also reach out to your manager, reach out to management. When management are coming to see what they can do or brainstorm, you have already put an action in place. Sometimes you can have a critical activity that has to be done, and your company tells you, okay, we have a crane operator in place. And you're like, no, you need another guy on standby so that if the first guy is not feeling fine, the second guy can come in. So some of these actions we put in place, I'm trying to simplify them so that we know about what we do. And we should try as much as possible to implement this leadership principle. Now, let's talk about frugality. That's accomplishing more with less. You have your company in place, you're the safety manager, you have a budget allocated to you, and your team has to do a drill. Let's say a summer midday break drill. You have some cardboards that were already designed last year, and you can use some of these cardboards. But your teammates are like, no, sir, this is quite old. Let's just buy new ones. Besides, we have the money in our department. We haven't used a lot. But you, as the health and safety manager, how do you manage budgets? If the cardboards are not really damaged, you can try to see how you look for a workable solution to manage the existing resources that you have. But whenever you have the budget and you just keep spending, yes, the accounts department might approve, your leadership might approve, but what about you? How do you manage your team? It's not only about managing the team, but it's also about budget planning. How do you manage the budget? Can you actually give an accountability of your expenses? Are you true to yourself? Do you just spend that money, or you make sure that everything is being done and your existing resources are being utilized? You should try as much as possible that before we spend, we should use the existing resources. Now we look at deep dive. Someone comes to you, or one of your safety officer comes and tells you, Frank, I'm not happy about this operation manager. He always pushes back at what I tell him to do. I went today for a toolbox talk and he said, no, the work should continue. You are a safety manager. You said, oh, he said that to you? Yes, you go, you start fighting with this guy. Once it's escalated to maybe your senior leadership, they will ask you, valid point from your safety officer. Did you deep dive? Did you actually try to find out the reasons why this guy has been pushing back? Do you know if they have an existing problem? Do you know if it was communication barriers? We are not all from the same country. I could be a native English speaker and you are not. So maybe the way I communicate to you, you might feel that maybe Frank is rude to you, or Frank does not speak, or maybe Frank's English is not good at all. But the most important thing is we should get the sense out of what our stakeholders are trying to communicate with us. So as a leader, we should not be quick to judge. We should try as much as possible to find out why it happened. Is this the first time it happened, or it has been happening? What is the problem? Do you have a personal problem with this person, or is this person just pushing back at what you do? Now, how many times has it happened in this week? So whenever you're going to your leader to escalate or to say something, have your data in place. Instead of saying this operation manager pushed back today, you can say that during this week, we have to conduct 10 toolbox talks. I've approached the operations manager's department 6 times, and he has pushed back 4 times. I tried as much as possible to tell him that this is very important, but he is saying it's time sensitive. I tried to tell him that, okay, if I cannot have the chance to do the toolbox talk, can you do it? Or can you just walk around and talk to the workers? But he's quite resistant on all the approaches that I'm willing to put in place. And this is a high risk activity. Without this toolbox talk, I don't know how we can proceed. So please kindly advise. You see that you've given more details. Your leader knows a lot of things from you. So it makes it easy for him to say, okay, this is what we have to do to the operations manager. This is what my team is doing. Because not because of me or because of them, but because of the company's procedures and the existing management system. But you are trying to push back. I would like to find out from you how you think we as a health and safety department can support you, especially in critical activities. So you see, you're using a diplomatic approach to approach him, and you easily get things done because it's more of a collaboration. But when you jump on emails, you start writing, yes, he did something wrong. But as a senior leader trying to look into this case, how did you approach him? How did you manage the situation? It's very important. Always learn how to get your informations, get your data before you judge anyone or any case. Now, when it comes to end trust, are you sure that if you turn your back and they are to ask your department, how good is Frank's job, or how good is Abanum at his job site? Will everyone say, no, this guy is good? So sometimes You have to make sure that as health and safety professionals, we earn the trust of our teammates and that of our stakeholders. Because without that trust factor in place, trust me, whatever you do, no one is going to believe you. It's like you come to your team and you tell them, oh, there's a new regulation. And this is the regulation. This is what it states. They go online, they check, there is nothing. The next day you come and say, no, this is the new law. I've revised this risk assessment. You make things much more complicated to your team. And when they double click, they see that, oh, this is an easy fix. This is what we could do. But with this guy, he tends to make things too complex for us. So you know what? We don't really need him. We can do without him. So sometimes it's always good to ask for these feedbacks. Talk to your teammates, talk to your stakeholders, ask them what they think, how you can help them. How do they think you're communicating with them or you're collaborating with them? Are they happy about the strategies? How would they expect you to approach such situations? Trust me, whatever feedback they give you and you implement this feedback, you build a very good relationship with them. It's not 100% certain that everyone will accept your proposal, but out of 100 people, about 95 of the people that you've spoken to will be able to accept what you're saying. And as a health and safety professional, we should always think big. And why do I say think big? It's not only in our profession, but in our life. Where do you expect to see yourself maybe in the next 10 years? Do you think that the company you're working with is always going to be there for you? How competent are you? Are you comfortable with where you are right now? What are some of the things that you can implement? Now, I'll take it into two parts. With respect to our jobs, you're moving from a company to another company. You're going to company B with so much ideas from company A. You identify that company B does not have the good practices that were implemented in company A. Now you cannot implement everything exactly because the people you're meeting in company B are not the same people that you were working with in company A. So you have to look for a way to invent and simplify the best practices that you're willing to share, and you make sure that this does not only gets done, but it adds value to the business. So in case you're coming up with a new proposal, what every organization tends to see is, how does this add value to the existing system? Do you want us to reinvent the wheel for something that does not add value? How is it impactful? And how does it add value? You look at the cost. Do I need a lot of money to implement this? And what value is it adding? Do I need maybe, for example, $10,000 to get a value of $10? So you should always see how you can be frugal. You can invent and simplify. You can take ownership of the task. You're customer obsessed. So at the end, the leadership principles intermingle with one another. Deliver results. Your manager tells you, Frank, please, I have this thing, it's business critical. I need it within the next 2 days. You agree to it. He's aligned. He knows that Frank is working on it. After 2 days, he doesn't ask you a question. You don't come up to him. You cannot do it. You don't deliver results. How do you expect your manager to trust you whenever something big comes up, whenever he needs you? So in cases where you cannot deliver, you have to be proactive. Hi, boss. Yeah, this task was assigned to me. I'm facing some challenges here. Please advise. If there are things that he knows that, okay, Frank needs time to learn this, he might give it to B, or he might support you to remove that roadblocker and you get that job done. So whatever you have, please deliver results. It's very important. If you're facing challenges and you already align with the stakeholder, with your colleagues, with your leadership on something, and you feel that you cannot get it done on time, be very proactive to inform them, get support, and make sure that this job is done. The last point I'll be talking about is have backbone, disagree, and commit. It's not everything that leaders tell you that you just say yes. There's sometimes that you respectfully tell them, with all due respect, I don't agree to this. because of one, two, three, four, five. So you shouldn't be a yes person, but you should have that backbone. You should be able to stand somewhere and say, this is what the management system requires. This is what I have to implement. At this point in time, I'm not bringing down my guards, not because I'm not respectful, but because if I don't do this, this is what we tend to face, and this is how it can affect the business. You might have maybe a head-on collision, you might have problems, you guys can fight together, but trust me, tomorrow, those same leaders that were against you, those are the leaders that will recommend you for senior managerial roles because you disagree, you commit, but you have a backbone. I'm sorry, this cannot happen this way. This is the right way. We have to do it this way. If it's not done this way, then I'm not sure I'm ready to get involved in this. Whenever you're ready for us to do it this way, then let's sit together. Or if you have a better solution that works around this way, then let's do it as a team. So that's how you should always tackle things. And trust me, it doesn't mean that once you implement all of this, you'll get everything right. You will get some situations that you need senior leaders to step in. But if you put this into perspective, you'll become better at what you do. This is just an overview. There are so many videos on YouTube that will help you to understand these leadership principles more better than the way I explained to you. But I'm just giving you like generic insights for you to know how important they are. So if these are some leadership principles that you have never implemented, try to implement it and get your activities or your personal performance much more better. So before I conclude today, there are a lot of things that we should ask ourselves. Who are you when it comes to integrity? How respectful are you? Today, you are a safety officer. Tomorrow, you're a safety manager. How do you treat the laborers that you used to work with them? Do you just sit in your car and call them? Do you actually consult with them? Do you actually make them understand that if they have a problem, they can come to you, discuss with you? How honest are you with your job? If you make a mistake, it's okay. You can always say, yes, I'm sorry. I messed up. Yes, this is my bad, but let's see how we can do it more better next time. That's fine. Take the blame, get the feedback, and you see that it's all about continuous improvement. You're a human being, you're not a machine. So it's able for you. It's okay for you to make mistakes, but what is not okay is when you keep making the same mistakes over and over. And how loyal are you to your business, to your manager, to your department? Maybe you go somewhere, another department says, your department is the worst department ever. And you're like, no, out of that department, I'm the best. I do everything well. But I have like two or three people that keep screwing us up. That's why you think we are not good at what we do. Whenever there is a blow coming to your department, no matter the fight you have, internal fights, always stand up for your department. Always stand up for your company. Your company might be the worst to people out there, but trust me, what you eat from and how happy your family is because of that organization. So you should be proud about it because at least without that business, your mental health will be at stake. Even if you lost that job, there is no guarantee that you get another job the next 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, or even 1 year. So it happens irrespective of how competent you are. Ambition. How ambitious are you? Where do you expect to see yourself within the next 6 months, within the next 1 year, within the next 5 years, with respect to your career? Do you just take your salary and save, and now you budget on the rest, and you're comfortable watching Netflix at home? Or do you look at how your society is growing? Now, let's look at, for example, the UAE. For some of us that are in Dubai, we are fortunate to know the story of Dubai. But for some of us that are here, that are from other countries, if you do a research about Dubai, it's about 52 or 53 years old. But look at their growth. It's at a geometric rate and it keeps growing and it keeps attracting billionaires. What does that mean? If you build yourself, everything comes to you. good things, you attract good things to yourself. But if you stay stagnant over a period of 10 years, technology evolves, things change, equipments change, but you are constant. So the city will outgrow you, things will become much more expensive, and your value depreciates in the market. So as health and safety professionals, we should be up to speed. We should identify our gaps. We should come up with strategic plans, invest in ourselves, and we keep growing. Save up some money, put some money for your professional development portfolio, and keep pushing yourself to become better at what you do. And at the end, be goal driven. Like I said, I don't, I can't, I want to. How can I do it? These are the things that will kill you. I'm going to try. I can do it. I did it. That's what makes you stand out. At this point in time, I believe that you should know where you are. You should do a self-evaluation and you should sit up. Trust me, a lot of things change with time. So if you don't identify yourself, you don't evaluate yourself and know where you are, you're just heading for doom, or you'll be in the same position for the next 10 years, and which does not make you a better health and safety professional. Stay patient and trust your journey. Now, I always tell you, life is like a highway. Overtaking is allowed. No two journeys are the same. The challenges I faced in my career are not the same challenges that you will face in your career. Never compare yourself to anyone. We are all coming from different backgrounds. We are all having our struggles. We all know what we want to achieve in the future. But what stops you from achieving those dreams is you not having a strategic plan. It's you not putting in the work. It's you not networking or associating yourself with the right people. And it's you not being ambitious. Whenever you're ambitious, whenever you're ready to become better at what you do, they are health and safety professionals much more better than I am out there. Get mentorship, become better, stay connected with senior leaders, share, network, and you'll see that it's just a matter of time for you to achieve what you want. So life is a step at a time. You'll definitely get to where you're going. Patience is virtue. Slow and steady wins the race. It doesn't mean that you should be slow. It means that you should make sure that no matter the challenges that come your way, you should be able to achieve those dreams that you're putting in place. So if you need safety tips and you want some support from me, you can follow me on my social media platforms and I'll always be here to guide you. So that's what I had for you all today, and I'm open to any feedback from your side. Thank you so much. Mr. Abano, you can take over. Yeah,
Thank you very much, sir. Please confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much once again for the presentation, and thanks to the over 100 persons that joined. Understand the group, the meeting link was set to about 100, and each time we exceed the capacity, some persons are kicked out maybe because of their network, and they are not able to join back in. But all the same, it was a good presentation. We happy the presentation is recorded, and then to be sifted out and shared to all of the platforms so that others that were not able to attend can glean from it. So far, so good. We have about four questions that I was able to glean from the chat box. I don't know if I can go through them now.
Yeah, we have 2 minutes. I can quickly answer the questions and let's push.
Okay, we have the first and second one from Akashuku Jashuku. I would go with the first one. When was your low point in the course of your career, and how were you able to escape it?
Well, that's a very good question. What I always tell you is that sometimes I do meet my low points, but what helps me is my strategic plan as well. because it depends on what you talk about. Low point. Low point could be your mental health, it could be workload, it could be finance. With respect to finance, I have very good friends as well. Everyone should have a village, you should have a community where maybe if things are not going out for you, you can reach out to that person. And also, if you have a good status in with your job, you maintain a good bank balance, you can even get loans and invest in your career. So it all depends. It's a very generic question, but what I can say is that whenever I meet my low point in my career, I always do a self-reflection. If it has to do with my mental health, I will try to identify what is making me sad or what is making me demoralized, and I'll try to seek mentorship or maybe reach out to the people that I love to guide me, and tell me how I can approach it. So that's the best answer I can give you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So we have the second question. Same from Akashku Jashuku, said if you throw more light on the strong skills to open door for international opportunity from Nigerian space. We've learned that Mr. Frank is not from Nigeria, so he's going to tell us how he did it from Cameroon.
So the thing is that what I always tell health and safety professionals is like you have to do a course that is internationally recognized. If you have NEBOSH, you get NEBOSH diploma. Now you have to know the market. If you did Nebosh, yes, the United Arab Emirates or the Middle East is open to qualifications from the UK. So you focus on it. Now, if you're looking at Canada, you need to ask yourself, what are the courses that are approved in Canada and how can I get there? So all this boils down now to your goal, your structure. Do you intend to work in Canada? Do you intend to live in Canada? If yes, how can you work towards living in Canada? What are the requirements from Canada? So you need to deep dive. You need to search and know, okay, these are the courses that are needed in Canada. I'm in Nigeria. Are you in the professional networking platforms such as LinkedIn? And how do you add value? Because it doesn't matter from where you come from, but what matters is how do you engage with people? Do you go for conferences? Do you speak at conferences? Are you very active in any of these platforms or even in working groups? That's how you get the visibility and you tend to shine. So please don't let your country limit you in any way. Once you have the right qualifications, once you have exposure, there is no limit when it comes to blessings. Because if a company is looking for you, and they feel that you have the right skill set, but this guy is in Nigeria, but I see what he's doing on social media, it's amazing. Definitely they'll reach out to you or you reach out to companies. I have a lot of friends from Dubai that have been hired from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Kenya, not because they have aunties or uncles in the United Arab Emirates, but because of their competency, their skills, and what they put all out there in social media. I believe that if I was doing a bad job, no one would be here to listen to me today. So that's just an example. Don't let your area or the country where you're coming from limit you in any way. Keep shining and believe in yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. So we have the third question from James Alimayo. He says,
Okay.
how are you able to manage the situation where you propose a solution that is realistic to your manager, but did not buy the idea, maybe due to personal interest?
Okay, that's a very good question, and I'll tell you that not all managers are leaders. That's something that you should always keep at the back of your mind and know that not everybody is open to, not all managers are open to ideas from their teammates. So whenever you find yourself in such a company or in such a department where you're not given the room to speak up or your voice is not being heard, my best recommendation for you is to evaluate the organization. And if you feel that your skill sets are not meeting up with that organization, don't make a fuse out of it. Update your CV, update yourself, keep applying quietly. And when the right organization spots you, you just transition smoothly. But I will always advise you never burn bridges. Whenever you're leaving a company, leave in a smooth way because you don't know what the future has in store. Maybe you have a better job that they'll need a recommendation from your existing company and you left on a bad footing. How will you get the recommendation? That's also another challenge. So wherever you are, don't burn bridges. Try as much as possible to be diplomatic. And if you feel that that organization does not add value to you at that point, look for another job quietly. And once you leave, leave peacefully. That's what I can give you on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So we have the fourth questions. Okay, how do one strive in a situation where the mindset of the people is that the person's HSC activities job is not meeting KPI? It's all about meeting KPI.
So yeah, so in health and safety, we have a lot of KPIs. When it comes to KPI, we look at people engagement. How do you engage with people? So when you say, and I don't, can you rephrase the question, or can you tell me the question again?
Okay, so I'm going with the question again. The question is from Mr. Akinwale Salako. He
Okay.
says, how do one thrive in a situation where the mindset of the people is that the person's HSC job activities is all about meeting KPI? I think if the safety person is meant to just look at meeting KPI and is not bothered around anything else.
Okay, that's a very good point, and that's all about strategy. So when you look at the core under the IOSH competency framework, it falls under strategy. So what I ask you is, before you start coming up with any plans, what is the existing strategy that you have? Do you think that this strategy is good enough? Is your existing plan working out? If not, now you can do a worker consultation. If the workers don't earn your trust, or they feel that, okay, you're just trying to meet KPIs, but you don't engage with them, have a meeting with them, have a conversation, or maybe you send them an anonymous survey and you tell them, okay, this is what we are doing. How do you feel about our department? Or how do you feel about me in person? How do you think I can improve? So once you receive this feedback, tell them, okay, feel free not to put your names, or you can keep your identity, but I just want to know what you think. Now, if you get a feedback, if you have a head count of 700 people, I'll advise you to go for one quarter of your head count. So out of 700, you can get a survey from about maybe 150 to 200 people. I think with that, you should be able to pull a trend to identify, oh, your approach is not good, or you're being very strict, or you're not engaging with us, you don't listen to us. So get those updates from the team, and you try to work on it. You can now seek consultation from maybe your mentors to say, okay, this is what the team is saying about me. This is my existing plan. Kindly advise, how do you think I can restructure or re-strategize my plan to meet up with the expectation of my workforce? So once they give you their ideas, you go home, look into it, review the data that you have with you, come up with a good plan, and you start implementing. Once you implement this plan for a month, you try to ask the team again, have you seen any changes? Or if it's a plan that you know that needs about 2 or 3 months for visibility, do it for 3 months, and you keep seeing, are there some changes? Do you guys think we have improved? Now, if you start getting positive feedbacks, it means that your metrics is changing from maybe red to yellow. That means you're on track. It doesn't mean that you're there, but you're on track. And how do you get to green? You have to stay consistent at what you're doing, and you keep improving. It's all about continuous improvement. And before you realize it, you'll be there. It's not as easy as I say it, but you just need to put that into perspective. Thank you.
Okay, so I have the fifth question. I don't know, but the person that asks is labeled HP. So it's a simple one. It says it's safety career for everyone.
I cannot get you. I lost you.
Okay, so the question from the user HP says it's safety career for everyone.
Like, is the safety career for everyone? That's what you mean.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. What this boils down to, I can say, I can recall, I can try to link it up to Amazon's leadership principle, which talks about customer obsession. If you don't love it, please don't do it. Because trust me, it is not an easy task. You have safety professionals in road and transport sectors. You have safety professionals in the construction sector. You have safety professionals in various industries. There are various challenges we face. Not only the risk assessment, and maybe the technical part of the job, but also the people that you tend to work with. So there are a lot of challenges that we tend to face on daily basis. And if you feel that you don't love what you do, you might give up at the end. So why do you invest time and at the end you don't really get what you want? So I'll always advise each and every person, the safety career is open as every other career, but do your deep dive, consult with safety leaders, tend to ask them like, okay, I want to be a safety officer in maybe the aviation industry. What are some of the challenges that comes from it? How many hours of work do they put in? Trust me, once you get to know all of this, then you can now evaluate yourself. Do I actually fit in this shoe? If you don't do the deep dive and you just get into the job, you might end up regretting. That's why you see that you see someone having a good salary, but he actually leaves that job to get a job of a lesser salary. Why? Because of his mental health. And secondly, he gets job satisfaction. So job satisfaction is one thing, and your mental health is another. So you might go there and you're regretting every day, oh, I don't want to get up from bed and go to this job. But when you love what you do, no one needs to wake you up. You're like, oh my God, I need to be there tomorrow. And you are there putting up, coming up with a bright face. You're happy, you're engaging with everyone actively, and you keep doing the job. And know that passion leads you to success. So if you're not passionate, you will not do the sacrifices that you need to do to be where you want to be. So all of these things are interlinked together. Thank you.
Okay, so we have the sixth question says, this one is from Christopher. How many years is ideal for someone to work in a company before switching jobs?
So my very best answer to that question is there is no limit in terms of years. So the good thing is you have to understand from country to country, it differs, right? So, for example, if you're in the Middle East, you're in the United Arab Emirates, companies do tend to spend a lot of money to hire a worker. So, if a company is investing maybe 10,000 US dollars for you to join, and after 2 months, you get a better offer and you want to leave that company, you have to put yourself in their shoes as well. Why did you join in the first place? Now, if you feel that that offer is much better than what you currently have, try to get into a negotiation with that company and say that, okay, see, this is what you're currently giving me. When I was applying for a role, this came in later. I've received this offer and maybe it's 3 times better than what I have. So I'm sorry, I cannot stay. There are some companies that will understand because at the end, we are people. It depends on how you put things to them, you know? And if the company says that, okay, see, we cannot let you go because we value you and we feel that you can add value to us, we might not be able to match up with this offer. But because of the investment, the time we need to get someone and all of that, it can affect the business. Let's give you up to maybe 30% of what you've had. And in that case, you see that the company has done a stretch to help you stay. So it's kind of how can I say it's from person to person, because we all have the struggles that we face. But before you leave a company or before you join a company, it's always advisable for you to do your deep dive. There's some granular information that you will not get before joining. But when you join that company and you see that the work culture does not fit you, try as much as possible to look at regulations too in terms of a worker leaving a company and a worker joining a company. Because what happens is if you're going to another company and they see that you keep jumping throughout your career, no matter how good you are, it means that you're not loyal. So if I need to hire someone and I see that he has been in a company for 10 years, that's loyalty. But if I have to hire someone within the space of 2 years, he has jumped to about 8 companies, and you ask him, he's always giving you complaints, it means that he will do the same in my company. So that's how tricky it can be. So we always have to strike a balance. Thank you.
Okay, so we have another question. Says, what certifications that helps one to grow into a leadership position in HSC?
Okay, so when it comes to certifications, this is a very good point. A lot of us just tend to follow the trend on LinkedIn. Hi guys, I just got my diploma. Hi guys, I got this certification. I got this title. I got all of that. So it's very good to have it, like CRSP, CSP, CM IOSH. But the thing is, you keep paying membership fees on yearly basis, and does it really add value to what you have? So it's good to have it, but what are your plans in the future? For example, Frank, now myself, if I'm planning to move to the US, maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, I can do the CSP and I'll be paying the membership fee every year. But now, if I don't have plans of moving to the US, okay, I know that I'm comfortable where I am and I can always secure jobs as a chartered member of IOSH, then it's fine. I don't need to keep paying $1,000 every year or maybe 200 or $300, if I'm not moving to Canada, I got the knowledge and I'll pass the CRSP. I don't need those titles. I need what adds value to me. But if you have the resources to do it, and if you have the money to pay all of that, please go for it. I'm not kicking against, but as a health and safety professional, we must be realistic. You should know where we are coming from. And you know that when whatever you're putting out there in terms of maybe your education, you should be able to strike a balance with your family, with your personal life, and with other things, so you don't just take all your money and go and get titles, and tomorrow those titles don't help you. And you start struggling to meet up with maybe CPDs from the various certification body. You cannot meet up with the minimum requirement, and after 3 years, it crashes off. So try as much as possible to get what is relevant to you and you focus on it. And in terms of leadership, again, know where you intend to work. For example, if I'm in Nigeria and I know that I don't have the finance to go to Dubai, and my target, my short-term goal is to get a job in Nigeria, save up for a year, and move out of Nigeria to Dubai. Now, is Dubai open for Nigerians? Those are the kind of questions I ask myself. Are there Nigerian associations in Dubai? Yes, how can I get into such associations? How do Nigerians cope in Dubai? How do they relate with one another? And how can I get a better job to actually pull me over? So, why I'm looking for a job in Nigeria, I'm busy trying to get into a networking group with Nigerians in Dubai. So while I'm getting into networking groups with Nigerians in Dubai, I'm trying to ask them what are the challenges in working in Dubai. If I'm coming over, how can I start up with a job? So you see that you have the right mentality before you make that move. You know that it's not going to be an easy process, but what happens? You have built the mindset. You're going there knowing that these are the challenges that I'll face and I'm ready to overcome these barriers. But when you have no knowledge about it and you're just going there being ignorant, that is where you might, I don't know, you might lose all your investment and you have to go back to Nigeria and start from scratch. I'm just giving an example. Some people will go without doing, some people will go without actually knowing what it entails. But trust me, it's always good to do your research before you move and network with the right people. So that's what I can share with you.
Okay, so we have a last question. This one is a bit long, but let me read. It says, how do you advise someone when the HSC team is internally divided and the appointed lead is the cause of the faction due to his mischievous mindset as he wants you to join his conflict with a fellow teammate who seems to be close and friendly with you?
Okay, so in this case, like I told you, most organizations, it boils down to the culture. That simply means that's an organization with a negative safety culture. And yes, if you're in that kind of business and you see that, okay, for me to get another job is difficult, I just need to know how I can manage the current situation that I'm having. It's not easy for me to just resign and say, okay, no, I don't want to be part of it. I want to get a better job. Yes, but that job is not yet there. So how do you tackle that situation? Now, if I'm in your shoes, I'm talking about me as in Frank. Okay, I'll try to see like what is a workable solution. Because if the manager wants me to be on his side, you have to know the behavior of that manager as well. You don't just have to go and be on his side without knowing how he might turn out to be tomorrow. He can also be against you. You have to also try to do some research about the management of the business, because your department is just something separate and you have the management. There are some companies that have the whistleblower, where you feel that this is what your manager is doing and it's not right. Then you can do a whistleblower. You can send an anonymous email, or maybe you meet up with your HR manager and tell him that, okay, see, these are the challenges we are facing in this department. And when you go to your HR manager, you're not just going there because you're going to say, oh, we have this problem. No, you need data to back up what you're saying. For the past 3 months, this is what we are facing. This is how my manager approached this. These are the emails. These are the communications. And because of this, this is how it's affecting us. This is what I've tried to do. But at this point, I'm in between the devil and the deep blue sea. I'm standing here. I don't know what to do. And in this case, I don't know what to do at all. Kindly advise. And now I'll make you understand that the operations team is very powerful, because we as health and safety professionals, we are there to support them to carry out the business of, to carry out operations and make sure that the business earns income. And from that income, we are being able to be paid. If the operations team, if you have a good relationship with the operations manager, with the project manager, and he can help you, they'll better advise you that, see, I'll advise that you should go to this person. Don't go to the HR, but try to go to this person. So that's why I always say it's very good to earn trust of people, not only of your department, earn the trust from other departments. And if you have a problem with your manager, you must not go through him. You can go around through others and try to see, okay, how do you manage this problem? How do you think I can do about it? So once you've earned their trust, they will give you a workable solution that will help you. Sometimes you as well can solve that problem. It all depends on your personality. There are times that your manager is a manager, yes, but he's human. You can say, okay, maybe sir, let's try to have lunch out of work today. You go out with him and you're blank, you're straightforward. Sir, please, the reason why I invited you is because I've been identifying this, and I feel that this is how it's impacting us. With all of this in place, I'm really worried. It does not help me to do my job. Please advise. Talk to him one on one. And if he tends to be aggressive, you document it, you send him an email between you and him, and keep that as your evidence with all the points that you have identified, record it. Tomorrow, if he gets up and he says he does not want you, now all those points that you have put in place, that is what you help to fight against him. You say, okay, this is why he does not want me. This is what has been happening. This colleague can testify. This is how I try to manage. I spoke to this other leader. This was the advice they gave me. This is the advice I put into perspective, and this is the outcome of what I'm getting. Trust me, in that case, it's not 100% you get things right. If you get terminated from a bad company with a clear conscience, you did your part. And I believe that as a Christian, God will give you something better. We might be Muslims, we are from different religions, but as long as I'm good, I did everything I could, but the bad system was still able to take over, or maybe take up on me, then that's fine. I will go happily knowing that I have a clean conscience and I'll get something better out there. So those are the challenges of the job. It's not like it's 100%, but you have to see that you build your mentality, you get the right skill sets, you communicate rightly, and you try to strike a balance with your stakeholder management. It's going to help you a lot. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think that's about all for the questions for today's session. Uh, okay, I think I have one more. This one is from Maniko. It says, how does someone currently in UAE embark in health and safety officer as a career?
Well, that's one is driven by passion. If you're passionate about it, there are a lot of people that are security officers and they're like, no, I just want to be a health and safety officer because the salary is bigger than what I currently have. So they don't even know what they're getting into, and they just get into the field, and tomorrow they're like, oh my God, why did I even get here? I don't get salary on time and things are not working out. I might have made a mistake. But no, all jobs comes with challenges. And if you're taking safety as a career, it means that that's what you love and that's what you intend to grow it with. Health and safety has a lot of branches in which a lot of people don't know about it. You can become a health and safety consultant. You can become a health and safety coach. You can become a health and safety trainer. You must not only be a safety officer. The safety officer is like the beginning part of the career. But when you identify your strength, like me, my strength is communication. I can communicate rightly with people because that's what I'm good at. Another person's strength could be the technical knowledge. It doesn't mean that I'm not good with the technical knowledge. No, but I'm able to communicate rightly. So you have to identify your strength. Once you know your strength, now you start building on your strength. Okay, what works for me? Is it consultanship in terms of health and safety? Is it becoming an SME, a subject matter expert in health and safety, like writing policies, procedures? Is it auditing? Okay, whatever you find yourself, you start working towards it. How can I become a health and safety auditor? Like big companies, I worked in Amazon in health and safety. We are about maybe 300 of us, but there are different parts of health and safety. There are construction safety, there's operational safety, there's a program health and safety manager who comes up with the programs for the entire year. Now you also have SMEs in health and safety. Like this is a global procedure. It's not applicable in the Middle East. Kindly advise. So they'll read into the regulations and now make that procedure to be specific to that country. They tailor it in such a way that it's going to fit the business needs of that country. So there are several, I can say there are several ways in which we can specialize in health and safety. It's just for you to keep doing your research, like attending this kind of meetings with people like me. You also attend with others, you network, and you see now we have AI. You can go online on ChatGPT and say, I want to know about the different parts of safety. I have this key strength. I believe I have this key strength. What do you think is good for me? AI will be able to give you its own solutions, and it will help to streamline the work. Maybe out of 10 lines that you read, a specific point will help change your life forever. So never just stay and wait for a company to keep promoting you. Do your research, find out what works for you and what does not work for you. And you'll see that by the end of the day, you're actually doing what you love. So that's it. That's all what I can share on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, attendees. We've been on this for about an hour and a half, and we got to the peak of 100 persons, and currently we are 81 persons, which shows many persons are in tune to the conversation and really want to learn more. But this is how far we can go, considering the questions that we have on the chat box. So I hand over to Mr. Frank to do a closing remark so we can end the session.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to do a post on this session. And if you guys want us to touch base on it again, I'm going to get like the bigger because I was not expecting up to 100 people. But thank you so much for the love and thank you for showing up. I hope this added value to you and you're going back and you're not going back the same. You can always follow me on my social media platforms. Tell me what you want. If you want us to have other webinars, we can do it like a series every month. I can always organize this and we keep getting better. Whatever you want me to touch base on, we are going to do it. I appreciate your time. 1 hour, 30 minutes, it's a lot. And let's stay connected. Let's keep learning. Let's keep getting better at what we're doing. If you have to take a loan to study, please, it's not a wastage. It's an investment for your future. Know that in the next 10 years, you'll become better. And whenever you see me, always think about the very funny picture I showed you at the beginning of my career. I'm not yet where I want to be, but with learning from you guys as well, we all will make health and safety a better career and we make the world a safer place. So thank you all for watching. I'll be sharing the link of this record to each and every one of you. And let's learn, let's network, and let's share ideas. See you and have a fulfilling weekend. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Do enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, your afternoon, and good night.
Thank you.